Women wisdom. Are you ready to get tickled? Because we've got a special Thursday tickle. Everybody, get ready. Make sure you've got a glass of water, a pen, and paper because we are about to get started. The event will get started in just 1 minute. Welcome. Thank you for letting me know. We can feel your presence. Can't even walk the street. Hey, ladies, we are getting ready to start. I invite you to come back. And for those of you joining us on Women of Wisdom inside our community, you can join us on Zoom and find the link in the description. That being said, let's go ahead and dive in because today is going to be unlike any other day. It's going to be quirky, it's going to be playful, and the goal to empower you to have more freedom when it comes to money because ladies, you are not your bank account. But truth is, it can be difficult for many of us to feel safe in that belief. Ladies, drop a yes in the chat if you are here because you are tired. You're tired of when you go to make purchases or buy a gift or pay your bills, you feel that dread. Drop a yes in the comments. Yeah. Yes, ladies, you are not alone. Now, drop a yes in the chat if you are here because you're really just looking to start to have a new relationship with money, one that is lasting and peaceful. None of this yo-yo dieting that can come with our bank account, the ups and the downs. Yes, yes. And I see you inside the community, Women of Wisdom. Yeah, I see you, Ksenia. And ladies, drop a yes in the chat if you are ready, truly ready to start to liberate yourself from old patterns of scarcity. Yeah. Ooh, Maya's in there with a yes real fast. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, ladies who are here with me on Zoom, Christine, Ksenia, Jennifer, Maya, and Women of Wisdom. Today, I'm going to be talking about really how to heal your relationship with money. Specifically, I'm going to share 3 keys to heal your money wounds. So you can really start to separate your self-worth from your bank account. Because I know each one of you is worth so much more than the quantifiable dollars and cents that you have in your bank account. Now, I know those of you who are in Zoom, some of you aren't unable to join me on video. If you are able to join, I invite you to put your camera on. And the reason being, something happens when we're being witnessed. You see, so many of our wounds, hey, Jennifer, so many of our wounds around money happened in relation to other people. Give me a head nod if you can relate to that. And because so many of our wounds happen in relation to others, there's something magical and transformational when we allow ourselves to be witnessed in the place of healing and transformation. So thank you for coming on camera, Jennifer, for letting me see that beautiful, radiant energy and face and allow me to witness you in this beautiful transformation. Now, that being said, I know that it can be difficult for many of us to really feel safe with money. In fact, studies have shown that when we ask women what word they associate with money, the number one word is stress. Place a hand on your heart if you are like, oof, I resonate with that study. The thing is, women end up living so many different nuances of life. We are the nurturer, the caretaker, the lover, the friend, the daughter. We grow up with so many mindset pieces around being spread thin. No wonder when it comes to our bank account or our finances, we can find ourselves in that same place. You see, money wounds are like little invisible scars on your piggy bank of life. They might have happened during times of emotionalized experiences, or maybe even without thought or thinking, like through childhood patterns, which I'll be talking about. But what I share with you is that no matter how roughed up your piggy bank has gotten, there's one thing that can really truly heal and polish your piggy bank, and that is going to be you taking empowered action. And ladies, the fact that you are here, that you're engaging in the chat, that you're dropping the yeses, speaks volumes to the work that you have done to be so aware with where you are in your journey of transformation and money. Ladies, just go ahead and give me like a whoop whoop. Trust me, I can feel you doing it. Give me a whoop whoop if you can just feel all of the growth that you have had, the depth that you have brought to this journey. What I'm going to be talking about is really these 3 keys to transform your relationship with money, to really start to separate your self-worth so you can really start to feel more safe and more secure. And ladies, a part of this journey is so many of us grow up with this idea of money. These ideas that money doesn't grow on trees. Drop a yes if you've ever heard that. I see your whoop whoop, Ksenia. Drop a yes if you've ever heard money doesn't grow on trees. Let's see how many of these shared narratives around money we have. And I invite you to drop into the chat as well. What are some other things you've heard about money? What are some other stories? What are some other stories you've heard around money? I know for me growing up, I heard money doesn't grow on trees. Money is the root of all evil. Money puts a target on your back. Hey, Marie. You see, so many of us grow up with these ideas and these stories of money that it can be really difficult for us to start to separate from them. We start to have this idea, this persona, money begins to take on its whole energy, its own life that it has because of these stories that we've quelled, that we've created. Ksenia shares, you use money to make money. Yeah, definitely. Marie is sharing, you have to work hard for it. Money is a challenge. Money is an uphill battle. Another one I grew up with is money puts a target on your back. Just send some sparkle fingers out there to all of the women in the world who are hearing these stories around money, hearing these folklore, these tales of hardship and scarcity and villainous. Because we're here to be a part of the revolution, ladies, that is breaking away from old stories and really being able to be the hero in our own financial freedom breakthrough. So that being said, everyone, my name is Caminos. Hello, and I'm an embodiment and somatic practitioner. And you are here at this beautiful talk called You Are Not Your Bank Account. And just so you ladies know here with me on Zoom, this is part of a larger event that I do every Thursday called Thursday Tickles, a time where I tickle you with information for your personal expansion. Why? So you can have more power and choice in navigating all of life's challenges and adventures. And I'm so honored to be here with you, to be with the women on Zoom and the Women of Wisdom community, talking about money, talking about how to heal your relationship with money. My husband and I bought us tickets to go to Prague for 3 weeks on me. I'm getting ready to buy our first home in Colorado. But it wasn't always like this, ladies. To say that I had a difficult journey with money feels like a big understatement. I grew up in a family of scarcity. I grew up in a family of fear, anger around money. And drop a yes if you grew up in that kind of family dynamic as well. And again, just know that it's not your fault. I remember I was in second grade and Mrs. Cardona was my teacher. And I remember getting ready for school, being so excited because I was a serial student, still am a big number one student. And I was getting ready for school. And I remember sitting on my mom's bed, having my feet dangling as I sat there. And I just remember the steam coming out of the bathroom as she was getting ready for work and she had just come out of the shower. And she was wearing a pair of underwear that had some holes in it. And I remember laughing at my mom and making fun of her holy underwear. I think I even got up and poked because my finger fit perfectly between them. And I'll never forget the feeling and the face that my mother shared when she turned around. It was a face of guilt, of shame, of dread. I remember my mother turning around with one mascara eye and just looking at me and saying, honey, I don't need new underwear. This isn't a necessity. I don't mind having holes in my underwear because there's other things that we need to spend money on. Money isn't just about buying new underwear and buying new things. And I just remember feeling a heaviness in that moment. I remember feeling shame. I can't believe I made fun of my mom for having a hole in her underwear. Of course, I should have known that money should be used for other things. That was part of my journey of money, of really starting to realize and starting to question, is it worth it? Is my underwear worth it? Am I worth it? Is my booty worth it? What is money worth? And what parts of my life can I deem as worthy of spending? My turning point around money happened a couple years ago. I had the opportunity to join a year-long business program, and it was $15,000. I was 2 weeks fresh off of the plane from Czech Republic, where I had been living for 7 years, and I was terrified at making this decision. I remember the opportunity coming in front of me and me looking at my bank account and my bank account being like, no way. The fear that came, the inner critic, the voices, my money wound started to show up. The inner critic started to say certain things, and I'll share those with you so you can really start to identify your money wounds. But in that moment of everything, this invisible limiting wall of finances, of scarcity, everything said no. But there was a deep desire, a deep whisper that said yes. A part of me knew that in this investment, that in this choice, that everything was going to change. And then that trickled a different spiral of, oh my goodness, can I handle change? Oh my goodness, am I ready? Oh my goodness, what if, what if, what if? And it was in that place of saying yes to my heart's desire, of saying yes to the investment in myself and in my business, that I began to change the patterns that I had with money. It was in me taking empowered action for myself, me breaking away from the association of fear, from the patterns and the pathways of fear and scarcity and stuck, that allowed me to transcend all of those no's that I felt before, began to release and relief the tension that was in my body from all of those lived experiences of being knocked down, of failure, of judgment. And I'm so excited and honored to share with you a part of that process with you today. The 3 keys I'm going to share with you are 3 keys that I've been able to use in my life. And I've empowered hundreds of women with these resources as well, internationally, including UN ambassadors. My goal here in this tickle is to have you get some tactile, easy, unconventional things that you can start to bring in. Because, ladies, I know conventional methods of financial freedom, conventional methods of navigating big emotions, of sovereignty, they're not working, at least for many of us. If they were, we wouldn't be here today. So these things I'm going to share with you are for you, and they're playful and fun, because I know that that can be the missing piece of the puzzle. So, ladies, as we get ready to get started, I just want you to drop into the chat, including you, Marie, drop into the chat. One word. How are you feeling? How are you feeling going forward? Before I share these 3 keys with you, I want to get real. I want to give you the voice. Take up space. Be true. What feelings or emotions are rising with you as we move forward? I know Marie shared in our Facebook community that her dad was very tight with money, but we had new clothes, shoes, school trips if her mother paid for them. I hear you, Marie. I feel that. And I see your readiness, Maya. I feel your enthusiasm, Marie. Ladies, that being said, I've got a little notepad here because one little secret tip: money loves order. It loves structure in a container. So that's why I'm going to have some little notes here that I can come into. More so really to really get into the practice and the implementation, and to show you, ladies, that there's some freedom and power that comes within having a structure. So that being said, the first thing, that first key I want to share, drum roll please. Number 1 key is to have a new relationship with money. Having a new relationship with money is going to allow you to really start to cultivate an authentic, abundant relationship. One of truth, one of sovereignty, one of freedom. You see, right now, many of us have a strained relationship with money. And again, ladies, it's not your fault. It's not my fault. It's not Ksenia's fault, or Maya's, or Marie's. We live in a loud and busy world where it's as if everyone would rather us be human doings than human beings. Ooh, the sun is coming in. We live in a loud and busy world of what ifs and should haves, where so much of our self-worth seems to be measured on how burnt out we are, how big our bank account is, what car we're driving, where our vacation plans are. No wonder so many of us have a strained relationship with money. But being able to cultivate a new relationship is where the magic happens. Ladies, drop in the chat right now one word to describe your relationship with money. What would that word be? What would that word be? And I'm going to just close these blinds while you ladies put your word. Scarcity. Yeah. Fear. Lack of. Yeah. And ladies, I'm thinking about this relationship that you have right now. I want to get a little bit deeper, because when it comes to your money tree that we're planting right now, we want to go deep before we can go wide. The deeper your money tree is, no matter what setback, what experience happens, your tree will stand strong. So ladies, thinking about that relationship that you have with money, the one of lack of, the one of scarcity, I want you to tell me, drop in the chat, how is this impacting your day-to-day? How does this impact your daily life? How does this relationship with money impact your daily life? For example, for me, when my relationship with money, I would say my biggest word was fear. My biggest word was fear. For my client, my client Diane, her number 1 word for money was anxious. And when Diane was really able to get clear on how her relationship with money was impacting her life, she was really able to start to get clear and realize, I'm going to be in relationship with money probably for the rest of my life. Do I want to be in a relationship of anxious attachment? She started to notice how it was showing up in her life. It was keeping her up. She would wake up in the middle of the night thinking about bills. She started procrastinating and putting off her bills because she just wasn't sure. She didn't want to sit in the discomfort and the anxiety of it. Her emotions would get all stir crazy, so she would put things off. She avoided birthday parties because she was always worried whether her gift would be enough. Bye, Maya. No worries. But just ladies, take a moment and really think about, how is this impacting your daily life? How is this relationship of money, of anxiety, of uncertainty, of lack of? I know for Marie, she's sharing that it feels like she's on a hamster wheel. It can be difficult to be in that place of go, 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 go. Now that you have an idea of how your relationship with money is now, from that lens of truth, of authenticity, of deep openness, no judgment, now we get clear on what you'd like that relationship to be. Ladies, drop in the chat. What kind of relationship do you want with money? What kind of relationship do you want? Yeah, freedom, confidence, secure. Yeah, yes. And now, ladies, again, going deep into that relationship. When you're having that relationship where you are, take a moment and imagine that life. Imagine that life where your relationship with money is secure, where your relationship with money is freedom. How different do you think that would change your life? Marie, if right now your relationship with money is one that leaves you feeling like you're on a hamster wheel and constantly tired, what does that other side look like? Does it mean sleeping through the night? For Diane, that was one of the big things that she had. For her, she was also able to experience more decision clarity. She didn't have so much brain fog. Yeah, having it be a cooperative friend. Oh, Ksenia, I love that. Yeah, Marie, able to relax. Come on, ladies, get a little juicier with me. Go ahead. This is a time to really lean into the abundance. And I know it can be hard, especially if right now we're like, oh, I hate money. I'm afraid of it, or all these other patterns. But tell me a little bit more about that life where money is your cooperative friend, where there's less tension. You think you'd go outside more? Would you have more energy? Know that even in this practice of you imagining what that life is with a new relationship with money, you're opening up your brain patterns, you're increasing your neuroplasticity, and you're starting to create a new association with money. So feel free to dream. Nothing is too big or too wild in my community, in my world. Definitely more energy, Marie says. Would you go traveling? Would you buy a new wardrobe? Would you retire? I would love to be able to travel to nice places. Yeah. Where do you want to go, Marie? Let me know. You want to go to France, Italy, Spain? Ksenia, the ability to make plans and be positive, even in uncertainty. Yes. Buy beautiful gifts for my sons. You see, ladies, oftentimes, especially for those of us with money wounds, it can be difficult for us to dream because we don't feel safe and secure in the dream. And so we end up holding on to this relationship, this association with money where it's, I can't even dream. We hold ourselves back because it doesn't feel safe. But as we're able to start playing, dreaming, visioning, we're starting to create a new association, a new relationship with money. One of exhale. You see, when our relationship wound with money is tight, when those invisible scars are really scraped up on our piggy bank, we stay in survival. Our brain stays in survival. Our amygdala goes off, and all of those chemicals begin to secrete that part of your brain that's like a skunk, not because it smells, but because it secretes those stress chemicals, your hypothalamus. It can be hard. But what we want to do in healing your money wound and separating you from your bank account is reminding you that you are so much more than money, and money is so much more than the associations you have with it. So thank you, ladies, for creating new associations with money and playing with me. And what I want you to drop into the chat now, I said you're more than money. You're more than your bank account. Ksenia, Christine, Shelly, Marie, I know you ladies are so much more. Drop in the chat. What are 3 qualities, 3 attributes? Tell me who you are. Are you funny? Are you witty? Are you empathetic? Are you loving? Before we move forward in this space, I'd love to hear who you are outside of your bank account. Who are you outside of your bank account? I am caring, wise, a nature lover. Marie is really funny. I agree with Darren Marie. I'm bold. I'm quirky. Definitely. Ladies, remind yourself that your relationship with money is not your fault, and that you are caring, wise, quirky, and funny, and that we as women, we have a unique superpower, and that superpower is our heart-centeredness. It is our compassion, our empathy, our ability to foster and facilitate and nurture loving relationships. Ladies, that is our superpower. That's your superpower. And it is going to be the #1 gift, the #1 key to really transforming your relationship with money is going to be you bringing that caring, wise, nature-loving, quirky, funny, loving, empathetic heart to the relationship wound that you have with money. I want you to imagine that money is your friend. Money is your ally. Money loves you. Money is your birthright. Money is simply an object. You are wealth. It's in your bones. But again, it can be difficult for us, especially as women, in a world where we get paid less, in a world where so many of us associate the word stress with money, in a world of debt triggers and more. It can be difficult for us to really feel like we can have a relationship with money. But ladies, I don't know about you, but have you ever been in a relationship where you maybe were like, I probably shouldn't be in this relationship? Maybe it was unhealthy. Maybe you were just in it for too long. It was time to end, but you weren't sure how to end it. Think of that relationship with money. You have grown, and it's time. It's time. It's your time. The invitation is here for you to transcend, for you to bring in your superpower heart and create that new relationship with money. Think of money as a friend. In fact, if you were to write to money right now, what would you say? In fact, I'm going to set a timer. I'm going to set a timer for 60 seconds. Yeah. Twice divorced. That's what ate up my money. I feel that, and I hold that space. This is your time. This is your time, Marie. Your time to really break away and really take that money back and reclaim it. Reclaim your wealth identity. So ladies, I'm going to set a timer for 60 seconds, and I invite you to play with me. Because again, When it comes to money and we're in survival, we're going to keep tight. That inner critic is going to say, no, we don't have time. What's the point? This is your invitation to start creating new pathways in your brain. I want you to write to money and just write, dear money. I just want you to know that. Dear money, I just want you to know that. And I'm typing it in the chat right now and sharing it as well in our Women of Wisdom community. Ooh, I love that. Dear money, I just want you to know that I got you. Yes. Ladies, I'll let you finish whatever thought you were on. You can always come back to this, and I invite you to. There's so many ways to start to cultivate a new relationship with money. And on March 26th, I'll be doing another event. And for those of you who are here with me live, I'll be sending you a free ticket to this event, including our Women of Wisdom community. And during that event, I'm going to be talking a lot more in detail about how to create that new relationship. It's an hour and a half because it is experiential. We aren't just going to be talking about the how like we are in this webinar. We're actually going to be moving. We're going to be practicing. We're going to be writing. I'm a somatic coach. So, we're going to start to understand and discover where our money wounds are in our body and how we can truly shed them. And so I'll be diving more into that. But this is one beautiful exercise that you can take with you today. Start to talk to money. Hey, money, how you doing? Hey, money, what's going on? The next time you catch yourself in that space of shiitake, of scarcity, of hamster wheeling, just take that moment to say, hey, money, I can feel you're in my field. Something happens in our brain when we start to open up dialogue with money and we have it separate from ourselves. It gets processed in a different part of the brain. It sits differently in the nervous system. The chemicals that get secreted are different. What if you talking to money as if it were a friend? What if that could be the thing that changed your life? What if talking to money and telling it jokes, listening to it vent, seeing who money hangs out with? My money likes to hang out with fear. Diane's money, my client, love to hang out with anxiety. The more you talk to your money, the relationship, the more you talk to that friend, the more you're going to start to notice who that friend's hanging out with. The more you get to come in as that loving parent and be like, I think it's time for you to maybe not hang out with anxiety today and hang out with calm or peace. Or you get to come in as teacher Christine and say, all right, money, I'm going to separate you from anxiety today because you two are just on a good one. Do you see how talking to money as if it were a friend, as if it were a child, can really give you a deeper understanding of money and really allow you to start separating yourself? Something happens in the personification and the separation. It creates psychological distance. And the more distance there is between you and your money wounds, that perspective that you have of money, the easier it's going to be for you to feel more secure and to really have more spaciousness of choice and response, as opposed to the reactivity that tends to happen for so many of us because we're in survival. No judgment. Again, ladies, it's not your fault. I love that Marie shared, dear money, I just want you to know that I am worthy of you. I love that, Marie. Thank you. Now, ladies, that being said, I know I went a little bit longer in that first key, and it's because it truly is the most important. If there's one thing you take away from this key, is that your relationship with money is uniquely yours. It should be one of play, safety, and security. So start to create a new relationship. Talk with money. And remember that the relationship that you have right now, it is not your fault. It is not your fault, ladies. And that brings me into key number 2. The second key when it comes to healing your money wound is really starting to understand where those scrapes on the piggy bank came from. Where did these money wounds really start to originate? Was it in your childhood experiences? Was it an adult decision that happened, like divorce? When we're able to really start to understand all of the different filters, all of the different lenses that we are looking at our money through, that money is talking to us through, the easier it's going to be for us to really be able to lean in and say, ah, that's not just the voice of money, that's the voice of my parents. That's not just money, that's the voice of fear that's coming from that experience. That's the voice of anger coming from that divorce. The more that you're able really to understand your wounds and where they came from, their origin story, the easier it's going to be for you to really start to separate your money, like money, capital M, your wealth identity, from the societal expectations. So I'm just going to talk about a couple of family dynamics that have been proven to show, and especially as women, to really impact our wealth identity, our sense of safety and security around money. If your parents growing up had a lot of financial conflicts, if you witnessed your parents fighting over money or just this lack of financial balance or harmony, your family, that can lead to money wounds. For example, if your parents were constantly fighting over bills, over not having enough money, over one family member maybe spending too much money, this wound can show up in our life as maybe having some aversion, not wanting to talk about money with our partner, feeling uncomfortable making joint financial decisions, being really controlling around money, feeling unrespected. This wound of financial conflicts can run deep, not just in our money wound, but in our relationship with money and our relationship with others. And of course, our relationship with ourselves. If you grew up with those parental financial conflicts, you might have a money wound. Another one that can really impact our origin story of our money wound is if we had some unexpected financial trauma, especially in childhood. If there was a sudden loss of your home growing up, or even in your adult life due to foreclosure or something, if your parent lost a job that put them in financial setbacks, if you were an adult who lost their job and was laid off unexpectedly, that can cause financial wounds. That can show up in our life as hoarding money, at being afraid to spend it because we're so afraid that another unexpected financial occurrence is going to happen. Our relationship with money can start to evolve, and our fear can start to evolve. And next thing you know, our money wound is hanging out with our fear wound. And that can show up in so many different ways. The other wound I'd like to talk about that really shows up in so many of our lives, especially as women, is a lack of financial education. My client, Sarah, didn't grow up being taught around money. She didn't really learn how to navigate her bank account. She didn't understand all of the ins and outs of taxes. Spreadsheets made her uncomfortable and nervous. Growing up, her dad was the breadwinner, brought home the bacon, paid the bills. It wasn't her mother's place or job in her family dynamic to engage in the finances. So growing up, Sarah didn't have that experience of really being able to feel empowered around money, of being able to talk about money from that place of confidence. it left her feeling financially ignorant. She felt like she didn't feel safe and secure in managing her money effectively because she had never been taught it. Unfortunately, in the world that we live in, studies in education and financial literacy case studies show that women are still rising in the financial education sector. And as a result, some of us might feel like we've been left behind in it. No judgment. But now that you know, you get to take your empowered action. You get to lean into this, into your choice, into your education. Understanding the origin of your money wound is going to give you so much freedom. And it's also going to really shape your relationship with money, because you're going to be able to start to lovingly shed those layers of financial conflict, of parental fights, of unexpected financial traumas, of setbacks, of foreclosures, of divorces. You get to really start to release all of those heavy things that your money is carrying. The more that you are feeling empowered to empower your money, to heal that relationship so it can put down all of that shiitake that's not yours, the more space there's going to be for money to carry abundance, for money to flow to you. And it's going to, of course, release that tension in the body. Understanding your origin story. So ladies, before I go into our final key, I just want you to drop in the chat. Do you have any ideas of maybe what are some origin stories of your money wound? The truth is, it's never just one. There's normally multiple, because we are multifaceted women and we've been through some stuff. We've lived a life, especially the women here in the Women of Wisdom community and here on Zoom. You've lived through stuff. Take a moment and share with me. What do you think a money wound that you have might be? Sarah's money wound with her parents' financial conflicts and the lack of financial education was so freeing for her. Sarah said that when she was really able to understand the lens, the glasses that she was looking at her money and her bank account through, it gave her more power in being able to take them off. It gave her more sovereignty in being able to say, hey, that's not my relationship with money. My relationship with money is one of safety, security, freedom. This one that is hoarding, this one that is, I'm financially ignorant. That's not mine. That's my parents. It gave her more space to say, whoo, I'm pushing that away. Marie shares one of her money wounds that she believes is my parents not sharing the finances. My mom bought all the food. Yeah. Yeah. And just even seeing how like that begins to play into your experience. I invite you to take this over the next week and really think about, as you're cultivating a new relationship with money and you feel that tension, that's not yours. And you're like, oh, money, I'm being mean to you. I'm saying all these things. Is it really me who's saying it, or is it someone else? Because ladies, I want you to imagine that money really is your friend. And I want you to imagine that money is like, ooh, I've got all this money for Ksenia. I'm about to give it to Shelly. All right, Christine, get ready for this money. Like, money is about to walk through your door. And right as it's about to knock, it's hearing you talking smack. It's hearing you say, money's so annoying. I can't believe I got to pay these bills again. I'm so tired. Like, what if money's going to be like, whoop, sounds like Shelly's not in the best mood to have me right now. We want money to feel safe with you, not just you feel safe with money. And the more that you're able to shed and understand your origin story, your origin wound of money, the easier it's going to be for you to feel safe with money and for money to feel safe with you. Because your relationship with money, it's a partnership. It's a collaboration. That's what's going to make it feel safe and secure, is a back and forth exchange of deep knowing and trust. Ooh, ladies, take a breath into that. Take a breath into that. Ladies, the final thing that I want to share with you when it comes to healing money wounds is understanding your triggers. The 3 keys to healing money wounds: boom, cultivating your relationship with money. Second, understand the origin story of your money wounds. And the third one, know your triggers. See if you can start to really identify what your triggers are. And if you're like, Des, I don't know what my triggers are, how do I even know what that feeling is? Start to become aware of your body. Start to become aware when you're around money or finances, or maybe even when you're at the grocery store and you catch yourself holding your breath. I mean, are you holding your breath right now? There are certain things that our body is going to do, certain signals that it's going to send off, letting it know that, oh, we're not feeling so safe. Certain triggers that are going to come up. These triggers might show up as body tension, holding your breath, catastrophizing, hamster wheeling, spiraling, an inner critic saying certain things. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about some common triggers, some common money triggers. So you can really start to just keep them in your field of awareness. Because when you can keep them in your field of awareness, then you get to take action. But ladies, drop in the chat action. Drop in the chat empowered action. Empowered action. Because nothing cuts faster through fear, resistance, or triggers more than you taking empowered action. Yeah, I see you, Kasanya. Not just action for action's sake, but action that is going to empower you. Because awareness alone can leave you feeling stuck, stagnant, and keep you walking into that invisible wall of limitation. The resources I'm sharing with you today, they're meant to be sustainable. They're meant to be easy, practical, playful, so you can really start to cultivate a lasting relationship with money. One thing that drives me into a state of just exhale and is when women attend webinars like this, listen to podcasts, do the books, get the coach, and then they're like, Des, I'm financially free. I've navigated my fear of failure. I've overcome my rage and resentment towards money, towards my parents, towards my exes. And then 6 months later, they catch themselves in the same pattern. That's the difference between taking action for action's sake and taking empowered action. That being said, I also want to acknowledge empowered action can be a stretch. You might feel you've got some growing pains because you're building that muscle. You're building the muscle of empowerment. Every time you take empowered action, it is like you are lifting a weight of trust, lifting a weight of deep inner knowing. So the triggers that I want to bring you into your field of awareness so you can step into your empowerment and take action. The first one, a comparison trigger. If you are someone who sees friends or colleagues displaying their wealth, maybe it's on social media, maybe they're like sharing their going to Cabo, sharing their going to this. Wow, I just signed had a $6,000, client or whatever. If you catch yourself in that space of I should be as successful as they are, I'm falling behind. Know that that's a comparison trigger. Once you catch yourself in that space of comparison, then you get to place your hand on your heart, take a breath, acknowledge that wound. Yes, I hear you. I know I'm feeling like that, but I'm probably feeling like that because blank, insert your origin story. Because I was told that success, that success means that you're working hard. So I'm not working as hard as my friends. It's not me. It's my parents. It's my teachers. It's me in my 20s. It's my ex. And then have that new relationship. Oof, but money, Success, I just want you to know I'm here. Thank you for being patient. Money, this is hard. I'm mad at you, but I'm trying not to be. Ladies, tell me in the chat, how do you think that process would feel for you? Being able to hear your trigger, understand your trigger, and then acknowledge it, validate it, say, yeah, of course I feel this way. It's not my fault. And then move into your superpower heart and create that loving connection with money and yourself. How different do you think that would shift? How different do you think that would change your life? How different? I know for Sarah, when she was able to really start to understand her triggers and her origin story and lean into some new ways of communication with herself, her body, and money, everything changed. I'm really happy to say that one of the big shifts that Sarah had is she quit the job that wasn't respecting and paying her enough. And she now lives her dream job. She is able to travel around the countryside teaching drama to children. And she gets paid almost double what she was before. This is a life that Sarah never thought was possible because she grew up in the idea that you don't ask for more. You're grateful for the jobs that you have. I'm so happy to see Sarah truly in her place of financial freedom and wealth identity. Marie says that it would change because she would sing, let it go, when I have negative thoughts. I love that, Marie. Again, it's just that beautiful thing of starting to create new associations and new relationships because you don't want to get rid of money. You just want to get rid of your associations with it. You want to remind yourself that money is an object and wealth is an identity. Now, ladies, the other triggers that are common that I invite you to bring into your field of awareness is the debt trigger, something that so many of us have. Again, it's not your fault. Ladies, we live in a wild world. Consumerism, capitalism, spend. Like many of us have debt triggers. You might notice that you've got a debt trigger if you have a significant amount of debt or any amount of debt, and you've got an inner critic that's saying, I am so irresponsible. I'll never get out of this debt. How can I do this? How did I get here? If you catch yourself, that inner critic shouting those little thoughts of judgment, of irresponsibility, you might be working with a debt trigger. But again, now that you have this awareness, you can step into your empowerment and choose a different course of action. The final debt trigger I want to share is, the final trigger I want to share is the unexpected expenses. If you are someone who has had an unexpected expense, maybe it's a car repair, maybe it's, wanting to having to fix something in your bathroom, a medical health expense. If something like this happens and you catch yourself getting emotionally dysregulated, going into a place of spiral of survival, and your inner critic is saying, I can't even handle a minor setback. I can't even handle this. I must be terrible with money. Why wasn't I thinking enough? If you catch yourself with those little voices in your head, know that you are not alone and know that it's not your fault. The beautiful thing is there's so many different triggers that we all go through. Maybe you don't have a debt trigger. Maybe you find yourself more in the comparison. Maybe you're like, I don't really have a comparison or an unexpected or a dent, but maybe I do struggle a little bit with the feeling of financial behind. Maybe I struggle with the trigger of scarcity. Maybe I struggle with the trigger of abundance because I don't feel safe and secure in it. This is a place for you to really put on your curiosity and discovery hat and explore the depths of your being. Ladies, this has been a Thursday Tickle special. And for those of you who are new to the community, hello. And for those of you watching the future, hello. Thursday Tickles are a time where I go live in my Facebook community, Women of Wisdom, to tickle you with information for your personal expansion. They're normally 15 minutes, but in honor of Women's History Month and just the requests that I've been getting from women around navigating money wounds, around breaking away from anxious attachment, anger, rage, and anxiety, I'm here to make this month different and special because that's my job here. That's my goal, to be a resource for others, a resource I wish I had had in my journey of healing and development. I'm here to be a part of the revolution that is empowering women to feel safe and secure in their minds and in their authentic expression so we can truly live a life of deep knowing that what we're doing is enough. We can wake up in the morning and feel excited, feel confident, be able to relish in guilt-free choices. That is the world I'm advocating for. That is the world I'm here to support. Now, ladies, that being said, thank you for being here. Truly. Thank you for paving the path, not just for yourself, but for the women behind you who are on the path of healing money wounds. You registering for this event, you showing up, you watching the replay is creating a new association for you. It's breaking away from old ancestral wounds and patterns that we might have. You're doing something different. You're taking action. And each time you do it, know that you are wiping any fog that might be on your heart center around money, and you are paving that beautiful, clearing your path of financial freedom because you are so worthy of abundance, of lasting abundance. You are so worthy of so much, you radiant souls. Ksenia, Shelley, Jennifer, Maya, Christine, Marie. You truly are incredible. Thank you for being here. Ladies, I'm dropping a link in the chat for the next event that I'll be doing. This is a paid event. However, for those of you who have joined, I am offering a free ticket. And I'll be sending the promo code to you as well. That way you can join us because you're here taking action and I want to support you in that decision because I know it's hard. But ladies, cool thing is, once you're in action, it's so much easier to stay in action. The event on the 26th, like I said, is going to be a little bit different. We're going to be playing improv games. We're going to be moving. We're really going to be not only getting our mind into the space, but our body. So our body can really trust that they can handle more. Because we got to make sure that your body can trust abundance before we really start calling it in. That you feel safe and secure with yourself and in being able to hold the big, beautiful vision and dreams that you ladies shared with me earlier. Of being able to be more excited, positive, engaging, being able to get off that hamster wheel. Everyone, I'm Des Caminos, embodiment and somatic practitioner, and just know I've got your back every step of the way. I love you so much. Thank you, ladies on Zoom and women of wisdom. Thank you so much. Bye, everyone. Have an amazing day. If you've got any questions, I'll stay on for a few more minutes. Awesome. Bye, ladies. Bye, Shelly. Happy almost birthday, Marie. Bye, everybody. Oh, see one question that we have. What is the best way to create a new relationship with money? Would you recommend just talking to them? Just talking to it? Yeah, that's one of the most easiest ways for us to really start to create a new relationship. It can be difficult for us, but talking, communication is something that so many of us thrive in. You know, we talk to ourselves all the time, even if it's that inner critic saying nasty, naughty things to us. Being able for us to take our voice back, to feel the vibrations, to feel the frequencies, to feel us using our voice, taking up space, saying, money, it's my turn to talk now. That can be so empowering because, you know, if you've ever been one to swallow your words, I know I have, and so have many of my clients, being able to use your words as you create and heal your relationship with money, it's a beautiful place to start. Great question. Thank you for asking. Okay, ladies, have an amazing, incredible day. And just know you're incredible and you deserve the best. You deserve lasting abundance. I promise. Bye, everyone.